So today I've brought out my Yashica Mat 124G, a lovely little TLR camera. Works perfectly. It's already advanced but it doesn't want to shoot again. What is going on with this camera? And I've bought out 3 rolls of 120 film, which was kindly sent to me by the guys over at the Dragon Film Company. And Dragon Film Company have been respooling 35mm film for a number of years now, and one of them that I really like is their Dragon No1 film, which is actually NK2-SH. If you don't know who they are, I made a video on their 35mm #1 film, I think earlier on this year. Well, Dragon have now putting out the 120 film, so I do love this film and I'm excited to see how this comes out. It's not coming out just yet, they're still finishing off all the packaging from what I believe, and I should imagine it will be out soon, so I'm excited for the first time to try this stuff out. I've got 3 rolls and I'm around this beautiful place here. This is Darkroom House on the Isle of Wight. You guys have probably seen this before if you've been following my channel for some time. I want to try and get some detail of this place. Usually I'll get sort of, you know, compositions and get quite a lot in the frame. I want to try and get close on stuff. I want to try and get some detail today of brickwork, detail, window frames, something like that. And I bought this camera because it's fun to use and I haven't shot it for a while, so I thought it would be interesting to show on the channel. I know this stuff is quite contrasty. I've shot a lot of it in the past and it's a film that I do enjoy shooting, especially for street photography. It just gives that banging contrast, but I want to see what it's like pulled as well, so shoot it at 25 ISO and pull the development back when I get back in the darkroom, just to see what it does to the film. Can it give me my, you know, really good shadow detail and pulling down in development, sort of tame those highlights in the 510 Pyro. We'll soon see when we get back. So as the sun's come out, I'm going to shoot this first roll at 25 ISO because that might not come out again later. So I'm just going to spot meter on the shadow area here, and it's given me, I want to shoot at f11 1/15 of a second. Obviously that's going to be middle grey, so I'm just going to come down 2 stops to 1/60 of a second and take my shot. More focused in. I've got shadow detail, highlights. Let's see how this works at pulling this film. First shot done. So literally that corner there, so you can see I've got the shadow detail in there which I metered on. I've got these highlight areas. That area might be a bit tricky because that's really bright, but the underdevelopment should tame that. No. And if you don't know what I mean by that pulling film, I'm going to overexpose the whole film by 2 stops. That's not going to be great for any scenes that have got highlights in because they're going to be completely blown out. But for anything that's got shadow detail, overexposing is going to bring that shadow detail out. But the trick is when I get back, I won't develop as long, so that will tame the highlights. So hopefully the development will balance it out, which will leave me with photographs or negative with a higher dynamic range. I'll get more highlights and more shadows in one negative. So we'll soon see if it works on this film. Put in the film. There's going to be a massive brightness difference between the door and that back window. There's a brightness range between the background and here. It's about 8 stops. So this shot will be interesting. I've got a bit of this old door. We've got this old door lock and door handle, and in the background you can see we've got the window frame as well. So we've got quite a lot going on. I'll try and shoot this as small aperture as I can to get it all in focus. We'll go to f8. The main subject is the door handle. So 2 seconds, so half a second, f8. Done. What is going on? Another nice composition here. We've got some cloud in the sky. I've got the corners of this window pane. I'll show you in a second on that camera. I'm just focusing in. The sun's coming in and out of the clouds, so I'd like to get it as it's out actually. Okay, so I carried on shooting the rest of that film, and as you can see, I got real bloomy highlights. I think there was a little issue there going on with the Yashica Mat 124G. It seemed to just be getting stuck through exposures. The last couple of exposures I've done, I've noticed that as I click the camera, as I click the shutter, it fires, and then there's a click afterwards. I hope the shutter isn't being left open mechanically. And not firing at the correct speed is what I'm saying. I noticed there just wasn't something right about it, and I got grossly overexposed photographs, which I would do, I mean, but then I was pulling the film, so you'd think they'd sort of come back to life. But some were okay, but the other ones that were grossly overexposed led me to believe that the camera's probably needs a bit of TLC. So, you know, but not only that, maybe, you know, them bloomy highlights. I pulled film plenty of times, and it works a treat. You know, you can really get some good dynamic range out of these films. Going on in the dark room, you get low contrast prints, but then you can boost the contrast with it. But I just think maybe that film's not made for pulling. So from my notes, my normal time for this film in 510 Pyro is 9 minutes, and my normal rule for pulling development is 15% per stop. I overexposed 2 stops, so that's 30% off of my 9 minutes, which makes just over 6 minutes development time. But me being me, I decided to hit 7 minutes. Maybe in hindsight, I should have gone to 6 or even less. You live and learn. So 500 millilitres of water at 20 degrees, 5 millilitres of 510 Pyro, give it a good mix, pour in the good stuff, and I did 15 seconds of inversions to start. And then just 3 slow inversions every minute, and then just let the pyro stain do its magic on my highlights. So after stopping with water, fixing and drying the film, the negatives came out a little denser than I expected. So for my notes, next time when I pull this film on a bright sunny day, if I do, I'll try 6 minutes. But I'm happy, I know that these will print nicely. So if you've never shot Dragon film before, it's coated on that PET polyester base, which is quite tough to cut through. So it's not like FP4 where you can rip that stuff with your teeth. You ain't doing it with this. So you need a good old sharp pair of scissors to get your negatives cut as we go through here. That even tore there, crikey. That's the negative that I want to make a print of here, this one with the brick walls. Quite a nice photograph. And that Yashica Mat 124G, wow, what a lens on that camera. It really is so sharp. And it goes under the enlarger. I've got a slightly larger carrier for this, so I can get the border of the negative in on the print, so that comes out black. Well, I can see through the enlarger how sharp this brick wall is. I've just done some focusing in. Notice I've left the border of the negative in as well, so that might look quite nice. That's as good as I can get it. I'd like to have got a little bit thicker this side, but I was playing over a month of Sundays trying to get that border right. Let's do a quick test strip and we'll see how we get on. So because I've pulled the film 2 stops, naturally it's going to be a low contrasting negative, and I know that looking at the negative. So I want to add a bit of contrast. So I'm going to start off with a grade 0 filter on my test strips and then see if I need to add any contrast with a grade 5 or split grade, if you like, a little bit later on. So let's do the test strip now. Grade 0 filter F8 for 2-second increments. So 2 seconds, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So there's my test strip. Hopefully you guys can see this through the video. Contrast 0, F8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12. I've decided to go for 10. I think it's got I've looked at the highlights. That's the best part area there for the highlights. So I need to do another test. But 10 seconds is too long a projection time. I don't need to sit there for 10 seconds. I'm going to open the aperture to 5.6, which will bring my projection time down to 5 seconds. And that is looking great. That is my 5-second test strip, which I now need to see how much contrast 5 I need to add to give it some contrast boost. So 5 seconds is what I need on the contrast 0. I now need to have a look at contrast 5, just see how that's going to boost. So I'll put another piece of test paper down exactly where it was before. I hit that with 0 for 5 seconds. And that's going to be my base to stand on and my base to put my contrast 5 over the top. So I'm now going to put a contrast 5 filter in the enlarger. And now I'm going to do test strips on top of that with contrast 5 at 1 second intervals. So this is contrast 5 going over the top of contrast 0. And from there I'll be able to see my time for my split grade. That's the test strip. That's come out really well actually. Just put these markings in there. So it's 1 second, we've got 2 seconds, 3, I can see it better than you guys, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 seconds there. I think I'm going to go for 6 seconds. I can see the contrast on it, so we'll do a split grade. I might go for 5 seconds. I'm just going to do a straight split grade. 5 seconds contrast 0 and 5 seconds contrast 5. So this is a nice 11 by 14 paper, and contrast 0, 5 seconds like we said. Contrast 5, 5 seconds like we said, and it's as simple as that. And in it goes. I'll probably just crossfade this, guys, until it starts coming through. The border's come through straight away. It's not the most perfect border, but it's okay. And there it is, hanging out to dry. It's incredible sharp from that camera, but also the film being medium format as well. It's so sharp. You've got highlights here, but it was a bright sunny day, as you could see, and I was overexposing by 2 stops and using the development to try and tame these highlights. And I think it's done a really good job. I've got bags of detail in all the shadow areas. The highlight here, yeah, it's a bit bloomy. That doesn't really bother me. But the point is saving the shadows. And if you can tame those highlights in certain scenes, depending on the lighting in the area at the time, you can get some really good results. So yeah, I think this film pulls really well. But this was a very bright day. Well, it could be the lens on the Yashicas that's causing those bloomy highlights. I don't know. But I went on and shot the rest of the other roll of film at 100 speed, and I carried on with my little project of close-up stuff around Darkroom. Great place to go for that sort of photography. And these are some of the shots that I got back from the 100 ISO, the film that I shot at 100 ISO. And it is a wonderful film. Fine grain, you get some nice contrast. If the sun's out, you get banging contrast. And you know, that's the sort of look that I like. Today I've come to my town centre. It's actually very early morning the next day. Notice I've put my hoodie on because it's a bit chilly. And I've brought out with me this time my SFLaB 501C. This thing doesn't let me down. It's something easily missed if you don't look down around these old buildings. These are old foot scrapers. Way in the days before there were pavements, there would have been horse and cart and crap and mud everywhere. So before you enter the house, you'd scrape the mud off your foot. I mean, brilliant idea. Look at that. And then walk into the house. Look at the detail in it as well. They didn't do nothing by half back then. I've put another roll of Dragon No1 film in here, and I'm going to continue the same project around my local town, just looking for close-up stuff, like I said earlier on, that maybe I can print and put on the wall, something that wouldn't look out of place in restaurants, hotels, etc. And this is a sort of photography, you know, I enjoy. I see this sort of photography a lot of places that I go. So it's quite an enjoyable sort of photography to do. So I'm going to take the SFLaB now. I'll put the GoPro around my neck so you guys can see some of the compositions that I'm going to get. And I'm going to shoot the Dragon film normally, 100, develop normally. I'll be looking for shots in sunlight so I can get that banging contrast and shadows. And I'll shoot a couple in shade as well so you can see how it works, this film in shade. So stick the GoPro around my neck and let's go and have a little walk around. See that curvature there? So that's going to be my area around there. I'm just talking to a camera. Oh, enjoy your day.
I will do.
Ta-da. I was chatting away about composition. That woman was listening to me. She's going, okay. She thought I was talking to her. Oh, joy. So I'm in the shade now around the other side of the building. I'm going to do exactly the same shot. This time we're in the shade, so I'll do the same metering, just incident metering. So 1/30th, f8.5, and we'll take this shot here. Exactly the same what I did before, but we're in the shade. See how that comes out. Let's hold my breath there. Now, it's all well and good shooting church walls, but they are quite grey and don't leave much for contrast, I find. So this has got quite nice contrasty scene. A black rail, we've got some highlight going on, we've got some shadow. So let's take a shot with this and get a composition around it. I've got post, shadow, a little bit of rail. So I've just stopped in this alleyway. You can see I'm back in shade again, so I thought I'd try another shot in shade. 1/30th of a second at f5.6, not quite the depth of field I'd like, but it should be okay. And I've got a little bit of this slatted door and that old sprinkler alarm. It might make a nice composition, so it's quite a nice composition. We've got lines and zigzags and going off all over the place. Nice shadow going on. Let's grab that in the camera. So this is my last shot, number 12. I'm just going to get all the way through there, the bikes. Got a little bit of building in the background, which, okay, is what it is, but I like the symmetry of all this. Nice highlights going on. Chrome looks beautiful on film, I find. So we'll take this shot. So yeah, it's always nice to play around with new stuff, and especially new films when they come out on the market. And well done for the guys over at Dragon for sticking with their 35mm and now getting it ready to give it to us in 120 format as well. And anyone that has shot Dragon film, you know it's quite a punchy film. It's a nice film to shoot, and as you can see in some of the prints that I've made in bright conditions, you can get some real banging contrast. That's why I was trying to pull the film to start with and see what I got from there, but that's all a case of trial and error with development times to see how I get on with it. So if anyone's au fait with the Dragon film, look out for their 120s that are coming up. They're still, I believe, in the process of getting them packaged and getting them out on the market. So I'm looking forward to seeing when that does come out. I'm not in affiliation at all with Dragon Films. They're just my friends, and they sent me a few rolls to play with to see what I thought. Thought I'd make a video to show you guys if anyone's interested in the Dragon #1 film in 120 format. Crikey, I've got to get out of here. The sun's coming up and it's getting really hot in this shed. It's like a bleeding sauna. I'm going to walk out of here 4 stone lighter. My wife won't even recognise me. But other than the film, it's a nice project to do. Find somewhere local to you, maybe a church, maybe an old manor house or whatever, and have a look for the detail around the church, the stone walls, the doors, hinges, anything like that, and just try and get close-up compositions and sort of make nothing out of something out of nothing, you know, as I've done here. I like that sort of photography, and I think those prints have come out really nice. So anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the video. A little bit of inspiration for anyone lost with ideas, maybe in photography, and showing you the 120 film from Dragon, which hopefully will be coming out soon. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Thanks very much for watching, and a massive thank you to all the guys that support me on Patreon and the YouTube members area, and the people that buy my prints off me. I really appreciate your support. I'll catch you next time. So what? I've got to get out of here.